the Democratic National Committee 9 years ago by President Clinton. In fact, the name-calling has begun. Mr. Andrew of Indiana, who joins us in a moment, immediately found his right to say he was from Indiana had been challenged by Senator Clinton's communications director and her foremost supporter in the Hoosier state, Senator Evan Bayh. No, I'm not kidding. Indiana State Democratic Chair during President Clinton's second term, then asked by him to go to the DNC, and an early supporter of Senator Clinton in her run for the presidency. This morning, Mr. Andrew announcing he was switching sides. This afternoon, our own Andrea Mitchell asked Senator Clinton's communications director, Howard Wolfson, to respond to Mr. Andrews' decision. He, in turn, asked for proof of residency.
Well, I'm not sure, by the way, that he's actually from Indiana. I know he's originally from Indiana, but...
well, it's sort of like Hillary Clinton being from Illinois or New York or Scranton or Arkansas.
No, she lives in New York, and so she's a senator from New York, so she's from New York.
Then there was Senator Bayh saying of Mr. Andrew this morning, according to the Washington Post, quote, I don't think he's lived in our state for 8 or 9 years. I don't think he can even vote in Indiana. None of which seems to have been an issue when Joe Andrews still supported Senator Clinton. He joins us now from Indianapolis, which is in Indiana. Thank you for your time tonight, sir.
Thanks, Keith.
First things first, please clear this up. For once and for all, are you or have you ever been from Indiana?
Well, you know, this is a little bit like Joe McCarthy. The next going to ask whether I'm an American or not. I have been born in Indiana, grew up in Indiana, went to school in Indiana. I'm a member of the Indiana Bar. I own a house in Indiana. My parents live in Indiana, just like Evan Bayh and a lot of great senators. I work in Washington. I live in Washington, and I've got a house here, too. So I don't think there's much of a difference. Were
you surprised that of all the things that could be brought up, that this was the first thing the Clinton campaign mentioned after, I mean, not just Howard Wolfson, but also Senator Bayh, that the question whether or not you really count for Indiana, that's the most important part of this?
Well, Keith, as you know, as I said, this is just part of this political theater. I'm proud to have been the national chair of the Democratic National Committee when Bill Clinton was the president. I defended him then, and what you're hearing now is the exact kind of language that came out of Republicans when I was defending Bill Clinton during the impeachment of the president. The reality of it is that I have become inspired by Barack Obama. I didn't know much about him 18 months ago when this campaign started, and what I've learned, like millions of Americans, is that he's willing to stand up for principled positions, answer tough questions in a complex way, not go for the soundbite, but try to go for good policy. I've been part of this political process. I've sparred from everybody from Lee Atwater to Karl Rove. I know how to do it, and what I've been impressed by Barack Obama is he simply says, no, I'm not going to do it. And principled positions from his saying no to the Iraq War, to saying no to this pandering on a gas tax, to refusing to take earmarks. All of those things would have been politically expedient for him to take the other position. But he did, in my view, what was the right thing, not the politically expedient view. And I just thought, in my heart, I know what the right thing to do here was, which is to support him.
I characterized all this earlier as you saying, in essence, that supporting Senator Clinton at this point amounts to helping only one person in this equation, John McCain. Are those accurate words, or am I putting too tough words in your mouth?
Well, I think the point I've made is we have a lot of important primaries yet to come. But after Tuesday, it is literally, clearly, mathematically impossible for either one of these candidates to become the nominee without the super delegates. John McCain is going to have millions of people who vote for him in the primaries yet to come. But because he's the presumptive nominee, not only those people get to vote, but he gets to put together a fall campaign and go out there and do what's necessary to win the presidency. We need to do the same thing. We need to rally around Barack Obama, let people vote. Every vote gets to count in this process, not trying to shut anything down. But we need to have a presumptive nominee so we can not do John McCain's work for him.
What happened, and I imagine that this is a deeply personal question for you, as it has been for many of us, for me especially, what happened to Senator Clinton in this campaign? Why have so many Democrats moved away in a fashion not dissimilar to the one you described today?
Well, you know, you can be for somebody without being against the other person who's running. I don't think it's a question of many people moving away from Senator Clinton as it is that Barack Obama is a magnet. People are being drawn to him because he is saying things that are different. He is acting different than the other candidate we've seen. There are great United States senators and governors out there who are all doing the same kind of thing that Hillary Clinton is doing. I love all of them. They're doing a great job. It's just Barack Obama stands alone as a principled figure trying to give complex answers to very serious and complex problems.
What timetable do you see now? Has this been accelerated? Do you think it's going to be resolved within the week, within the month, within the year?
Well, I certainly do everything I can to make sure that after Tuesday, once we know where we are in this process, that superdelegates make their opinions known. The only way that Barack Obama will not be the nominee of our party is if superdelegates do what I just did, and they switch away from Barack Obama to support Hillary Clinton. I don't think that's going to happen. He's gathering steam on the superdelegates. They understand that he's handled these tough issues well. The kinds of controversies that have come up in the past week have made him a stronger candidate because how well he's responded to it. He's going to win, and I'm very proud to be supporting him.
Former DNC National Chairman and Indiana Superdelegate, let's reemphasize that, Joe Andrew. Thanks for your time tonight, sir.
Thanks.